say it's must win because that's crazy, but I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last season.
Florida's 2025 recruiting class improved on Friday after cornerback Ben Hanks Jr. committed to the Gators and was considered a priority target at his position for Florida. At your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, I'm Sam Nelson.
At 9:58, it's 83 degrees. Time at 10, brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler. Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
They send 4. He dropped. Macklook fires toward the end zone. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Parker Washington, a terrific pitch and catch, and Jacksonville strikes first. Dropping his Jones against an all-out blitz this time. Fires. Got a man out there. That ball's going to be caught for the touchdown. He read the blitz. He hit Brevin Easton for a 31-yard touchdown. He's going to get hit. He's going to get sacked. Joe Gaziano got him all the way back at the 23. There's no timeouts left. And I believe that's going to end the ball game. And the Jaguars win it 20-7.
Nothing like getting signed a day ago and getting a sack the next day.
1010XL 92.5 FM presents Jaguars Today with your hosts Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, David Garrard, and
hold my pocket,
Dylan Denmark.
All right, good morning, everybody. Tony Smith has the day off. It is Victory Monday preseason edition. I am Mike Dempsey, joined by David Garrard, your former Jaguar quarterback. Always a Jaguar quarterback, but no longer the starter here. Got some pretty good weapons out there.
That's a good reason that I'm no longer the starter.
Well, yeah.
At this point in my lifetime.
I know your knees feel better than they used to, but maybe not playing day good.
No, not at all.
I'm thinking. You went with East Carolina today, repping the college squad today.
Absolutely. It's either or.
That's
most
fine.
of the time.
That's fine.
Either or them or softball for my girls. So
of course.
Being one of the coaches.
Now, if this were a case where the Jags had lost and you switched to East Carolina, I would have questioned your motivation.
Yeah. No,
that's not the case.
I don't ride the bandwagon.
No.
I'm not on the roller coaster.
We're on the Mac Jones bandwagon.
Yeah,
today.
baby.
Come on, Mac. Big Mac. Got it done. Good for him. Before we move on, let's say hello to Dylan Denmark, one of the illustrious coaches of the Baldwin Indians who took down Middleburg in exhibition fashion on Friday night. Dylan, give us a couple of particulars, please.
We scored 3 touchdowns. They scored 1.
That's good.
And then we pulled everybody and ran the clock in the second half.
Excellent. All right, so 20-8 was the final, I'm told?
Yes, I believe so.
All right, you need to work on your 2-point conversion defense, I think.
Yeah, our kicker was hurt, so he better tighten up and play this week.
Don't
ask me how he gets
hurt.
Yeah, I don't know how he got hurt. Don't ask questions.
Okay. And kicker
tough, man.
Can
tough
be a
life
dangerous
being a
job,
kicker,
right? Especially if you're making a tackle and kickoff return, something like that. If you're Cam Little, you're just booting them through the uprights. That's
sometimes you sit on the sideline too long and your legs start to go to sleep on you.
Yeah, right.
You know?
You got a little nappy leg.
May have been watching social media too much, when you're using a restroom. And
could have been that.
Legs fall asleep
you think
on
that, is that happening? Is with these guys? Are they in the portalette with the phone?
Nowadays, you never know.
Are they actually? Is somebody doing a TikTok from an NFL portalette? Like a. Hey guys,
I'm sure there's something going on.
Hey guys, I'm going live here from the portable crapper.
Give me a minute.
Give me a minute.
Oh wait, hang on. All right, I'm back. So I don't know if it goes that deep, but it might.
I hope not.
I already got taken in by one fake Cam Little account out there, and it was a good one. They got me pretty good. I have to admit on that, so I'll try to be more careful.
I don't put anything past the young guys nowadays.
No doubt about it. Hey, Mac Jones is still a young guy, right?
He is.
And
absolutely.
Look, Dave, I think he's, we talked a lot about this on the game broadcast, myself, Brian Sexton, JP Shadrick, and Mac Jones could have come in here with a bit of a, man, this is beneath me kind of situation. Like, I've been a starter. I was a first-round pick. It's not been that long. Look at the situation they put me in New England where my offensive coaching staff was a bunch of guys who've never coached offense, right? And so what did you expect me to do? But he has come in here, and I think it's been just how smart he's been to embrace the opportunity that he's got. He knows there's nothing he can do. He can complete every pass in the preseason. He's not winning the starting quarterback job here. But he can put himself in position to be a heartbeat away. put on some good film in the preseason and go and be a part of a healthy quarterback room. And, next year, there are going to be 3 or 4 teams in a situation where Mac Jones probably looks pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you my take on this whole thing because I've watched it. I've watched him out at practice. You see him having fun out there. You see him, being a little silly at times out there, which is really good for his mindset, his career, everything, because he was in such turmoil up there, like you said, not really having a quarterback coach, not really feeling like the team has his back after that first season, the way that they kind of did him up there. So he got out of there, came back home, knows, like you said, I don't really have a chance of becoming the starter unless something, kind of bad happens. So let me get back to enjoying football.
Total positivity.
Not feeling stressed out. I got to come over here and help my coaches figure out how to be quarterback coaches and dial up the right plays and all that kind of stuff. Let me just go, enjoy myself, learn their system, be the best teammate I can be, help out the starter, and kind of reset my career. So that's what I believe is happening. That's why he is enjoying himself. That's why he's throwing the ball all around. He's leading guys. And you can see what happens when you have a talented quarterback playing against backups. You get out there, you make the plays, you make great throws, you throw touchdowns, you get in and out of the huddle, you make everybody else look better. And you can believe the guys that are out there with him at that time are thankful that he is the quarterback and not a rookie, not some guy that, is just trying to make the team. They've got somebody who knows what he's doing, can get the job done, and get the ball in my hands and run this offense and get us some points.
Austin Trammell took great advantage
I've
of that.
not seen who this kid was, and I'm watching the game thinking, wow, keep getting the ball to him.
I want to say Joe C. was in last week at the tail end of the week, might have been even Friday, and he mentioned that he felt like he was having a nice camp and had done well against the Bucs, but you look and you're like, I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
But you look at the numbers game, man. You know who the top 3 receivers are. Parker Washington and Devin Duvernay are going to be on this roster. So is Tim Jones number 6? Do they keep 7? Elijah Cooks has been that guy. He had the drop in the game. He also had a penalty on special teams. Mac Jones missed him early on what would have been a huge gainer. I didn't think Mac made too many egregious mistakes. That was a bad throw.
Yep.
I thought he abandoned the pocket a little bit too quick and ran himself into a sack. I thought the protection was pretty good, but he also made a couple of little dime throws out there. I thought the one to Duvernay on 3rd and 15 right at the sticks might have been the best throw of the night.
Yeah, he's doing the best he can with what he has, and sometimes I think you can get out there, especially he might have been out there with the starters, and you still might be feeling a little hurried. But especially when you get out there with younger guys that are fighting to make the team, they're usually fighting because they're not always the best guys out there. And so in your mind, you think, I got to get rid of the ball, or if I don't like what I see initially, I'm getting out of the pocket. I'm not going to try to sit in here and think these guys are going to produce this great pocket for me. So you get a little antsy yourself. But I felt like when he had to make throws, he made them. He did a great job of, like I said, getting the ball to this one kid, Trammell.
Yeah, Austin Trammell.
Yeah, I thought he operated, like you said, he had some things where you would like to have back and be a little bit better here. But overall, just the way that he handled it. And then coming back in late in the game, usually you're kind of tuned out when you're late in the game like that. But you look around and you realize, well, I'm the only other guy that can go back in. So you can't tune out too much. It's still the preseason, so you get out there because everybody else is joking and laughing on the sideline that are not playing, and you kind of get wrapped into what they're talking about and hanging out with them. And you're
baseball
like,
cap is
oh,
on.
wait, we're still playing a game. Hey, we need you, Mac. We need you. So he did a good job with all that.
Yeah, we hope the best for a speedy recovery for C.J. Beathard. Don't know the extent of the groin injury yet, but it was pretty clear.
Yeah.
At the point he got hurt, Mac Jones had solidified himself as the backup. I think that was always going to be the way that they went. But, Mac Jones left the game at halftime. His quarterback rating was like 104.9.
Yeah.
And he came back in and he finished with the rating of over 127.
Raise it up. There you go.
He was padding those stats a little bit against those guys in the fourth quarter. And good for him. Look, that's all you can do is perform against the guys that you are lining up against, and he went 16 for 23, and it was clearly his night to solidify that and to come back to Jacksonville and have that starting opportunity, albeit in the preseason. And, for supporters of Mac Jones, it was a great night on Saturday. For supporters of Tank Bigsby, it wasn't a bad night either. We'll get into that coming up.
Love it.
Number of defensive players stood out to me. We'd like to know what you thought, Jaguar fandom out there. What is your reaction to the Jags' 20-7 win over the Buccaneers? 2-0 in the preseason. Look, it's not so much about the outcome on the scoreboard, but I'd rather have the outcome be in the Jags' favor, Dave. We had so many preseasons where we've had to go, well, it's only the preseason. Don't worry. Yeah, they're 0-3, but don't worry because those results don't count. And it just showed you that their depth was lacking. Here, clearly, the Jags' depth compared to the Bucs' depth, starting at the quarterback position. I mean, Kyle Trask and John Wolford weren't as good combined as Mac Jones was, if you took all their best plays together, at least in my opinion. And so anyway, we'll get into that, and that's your Chad and Sandy real estate question today. Just give us your reaction to the Jaguars knocking off the Buccaneers 20-7 on Saturday night. They've got the trip up to Atlanta with the Falcons on Friday. Then they'll have 2 weeks and a couple of days to get ready for the regular season. So while we saw some good things, what do you think about the play of the offensive line? Granted, not all 5 starters out there, but what did you see from the guys who were out there, and who stood out to you positively and negatively from the Jags on Saturday, as the coaches, I'm sure, poring over that tape to help solidify their decisions on the 53-man roster? David Garrard is here with me. I'm Mike Dempsey. If you want to get on board with the show, you can hit us up at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone line. Same number for the text line, designed by Lifetime Enclosures, or hit us up on social media. What are we going with on Instagram for you? Is it
David Garrard
_9?
_9.
_9.
Yeah.
All right. You get so
Gotta hit him with that underscore.
Gotta hit him with the spicy underscore.
Yeah.
Just like in my Twitter feed, at MD _1010XL, and you can go to at 1010XL Denmark as well.
Ain't no laws when you're drinking claws, baby.
That's right. I just wasn't sure if I set you up there properly or not, Denmark. But you can always include Dylan Denmark in your musings, and give him a follow out there on social media as well. So hit us up today with your thoughts on what the Jags did well, what they didn't do well. Obviously, the bulk of the starters weren't playing in this football game. A handful were. How do you think they performed? We'll get into all that and more coming your way. With DG in-house, Tony Smith has the day off. I'm Mike Dempsey along with Dylan Denmark. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods Breakfast. Yeah, they've got that. Lunch. Well, they've got everything. Lunch, dinner, snack time. You drive around Duval. It's a spaced-out kind of county, is it not? Of course it is. It's the biggest landmass city in the United States of America in the continental U.S., so you get a little bit hungry as you're driving around. Swing into a gate station. Maybe you need to fill up the tank, but certainly consider filling up your belly with some delicious offerings from Dandy and the Anytime Deli line of sandwiches, subs. They've got protein packs. They've got gourmet salads. They've got veggie trays and fruit cups. You name it. You want convenience on the go. You want high-quality ingredients. Dandy checks every single box here. Always delivered fresh, practically daily to every single gate location around the First Coast. Tremendous variety. Always going to be. You can try something different every day of the month and never get bored with Dandy, and they always keep the prices in a reasonable range as well. Dandy's the name to know in Duval when you're hungry for food on the go, so do what I do when you are. Go out and make yours a Dandy and do it today.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios at 1010XL. Because the expressway doesn't mean the fast way.
Fasten your seatbelt.
The Frangie Show.
Don't look like no expressway to me.
Afternoons on 1010XL.
What makes a Honda certified pre-owned vehicle so special? 182-point inspection, 24/7 roadside assistance, first-year free oil changes, and a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty for carefree driving backed by American Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Sweeps is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter and for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank NA.
Hicken here for my friends at GolfTeeRepair.com. No, we don't really fix golf tees. We just want you to have some fun around the game we all love. Golf Tee Repair is just a Jacksonville company that makes affordable golf wear for Jacksonville dudes who love to play. Polos, t-shirts, hats, hoodies. Gotta see it to believe it. GolfTeeRepair.com. All natural materials for comfortable, breathable clothing. GolfTeeRepair.com. Perfect to wear this summer and into September when you're at football game bound. Be comfortable in the heat. GolfTeeRepair.com. They're terrific forever.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Calling all fans of Duval to downtown Las Vegas during the game against the Silver and Black. This is Lauren Brooks from Helmets and Heels. Join us at Circa Resort and Casino this December for the Jacksonville Game Day Getaway featuring an incredible all-in package. Get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. The all-in package is only available until August 30th, so act now. To book and to join the Heels in Vegas, visit circalasvegas.com today.
Hi, it's Ben, second generation from Beards Diamonds. Guys, if you're popping the question soon, looking for an anniversary gift, before you buy anywhere, shop Beards. From a half carat to 10 carats, Beards will beat any competitor's price.
In the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com. He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe you got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary.
That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool.
They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to website CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com, and let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's our QB. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
Yeah, I think Tank is really improving. Obviously still some work to do, but he did a nice job again. He ran tough. Took care of the football. Obviously we'll take a look at the tape and watch it, but I really think that he's done some really good things for a young player and going to help us, offensively and just continue to grow as a running back.
Got to take care of the quarterback on that backside blitz pickup, too.
At 100%. Man.
The quarterback in this room has said, yeah, you better take care of the quarterback.
At worst, just get run over slow. Don't let him run by you fast.
Right.
Just get run over slow.
Make it like a slow motion car wreck.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That looks terrible. Got the job done. That's fine. Look, I think Tank, his game, that was, of course, Doug Peterson commenting on him after the game. I thought his game was a case of night and day. If you read a box score and you go, oh,
not bad.
10 for 37. Right? Yeah. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
If you watched him
and
you said, oh, this guy's getting hit at the line of scrimmage on every single carry. And almost all of it was extra effort and slipping out of tackles or falling forward, Dave. I thought it was a very impressive showing.
Yeah, I mean, early in the game, Tank and Parker Washington, but Tank was just running so hard. I just thought he has got his confidence back. He's got his little swagger going. This is what you need to have at running back because, I mean, you're taking a pounding out there. And if you're going to get hit at the line, you got to be able to fall forward 2-3 yards at a time. But he was running through arm tackles. He was running guys over. He was, like you said, slipping out of tackles. That's the kind of stuff when you're playing with confidence, you can run, and everybody can see that you're running with confidence. So, yeah, he's definitely turning the page from last year.
I thought he might have converted that 3rd and 1, but it was close. But that's more like it wasn't like there was a hole there, and this is against backups, and I am worried about this. It's great if you can break tackles and get that extra yardage. It's also great if you can get that first contact 3 or 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, right? The other thing I thought Tank did very well was on his receptions. Like, to me, it's a sign of confidence. As soon as that ball hits his hands, he is in one motion turning upfield to make his move, whatever that move happens to be. So I instead of like, I'm going to make sure I look this thing in, and I got it, and then I deliberately turn. Like, he is snatching it and going.
Yeah, running with confidence. I mean, putting his foot in the ground, making one cut and going. That's what I noticed a lot because there was a few times where, excuse me, when you're a young running back, you want to bounce it at times, and you think, I can bounce it and outrun this guy. But everybody's fast out there. So there's times where you've got to put your foot in the ground and crease between two guys. He did it one time and picked up like 4 or 5 yards after doing it. Those are the kind of runs that you got to do because bouncing it, unless you got world-class speed, you're not going to get very far. They're just going to continue to run you to the sideline. So he's learning that, and that's what you learn as a rookie. It looks ugly sometimes, and he did. He struggled last year with holding on to the ball, making plays that he should be making, but he's taken all that, learned, got through another offseason, and now he's going to reap some rewards from it. He just has to continue with that confidence through the preseason and then, feel it going into the first game when he gets his number called.
No doubt. All right. Hey, look, it's not all sunshine and roses. Some of it was good. Some of it probably not so good. So whatever your reaction is, we welcome it. And we'll go to the phone lines for the first time this morning, 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. And we'll start with Billy on the south side here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Billy.
Hey, good morning. I got a question for David. So how do you think this season's going to go? Let's say, Trevor starts messing up or something. The fans are going to be calling for Mac Jones.
No, they're
Mac
not.
Jones.
No, they're not, Bill. This is just ridiculous, really. That's what we're leading off with this week. No one's calling for Mac Jones. Sorry. Billy on the south side may be calling for – it's just dumb. If you think – that there's a chance that Mac Jones is even a thought in the mind of this coaching staff, I don't know what to tell you, honestly. Yeah. I mean, they have made their commitment to their guy.
Yeah.
And if their guy is healthy, he's their guy, period.
Yeah, they're riding with him through the whole season unless he gets hurt or something like that. Mac Jones has been playing pretty good, but when you give somebody $200-some million, that kind of stuff, they are not going to pull their guy because he's not performing that. We're going to say, you better play through it, and you better figure things out, and we're going to continue to ride with you. Nobody's coming to save you, so stay out there, and learn, get better, and let's start winning some ball games.
Mac Jones represents if Trevor Lawrence is as banged up as he was last year. They'll say, okay, we can go to this guy now because we don't have to change the entire game plan. Trevor wasn't even practicing last year, and they still felt banged up, not practicing. He was a better option than C.J. Beathard. That's all he represents. And if you think it represents more than that, then you're kidding yourself.
Yeah.
You're just, honestly, I think you're either a troll or you're just a Trevor hater or whatever the case. And you're entitled to be that. But if you really think this is going to come to pass, you're insane.
I also don't see the fans starting to clamor for Mac Jones just because Trevor's thrown an interception or something like that. I mean, he threw 4 in a playoff game and came back and still won the game.
Correct.
So you got to give your quarterback opportunities to not be playing that hot, but figure a way out of it and then have a nice run towards the end of the season. Our problem was last year for Trevor himself, he was injured too often and not practicing. You can't be as young as he is and not be practicing and think that you're just going to show up into a game, especially when you're down the stretch in your season and it counts and you're trying to get to the playoffs. Everybody's trying to knock you off. Everybody's trying to get to the playoffs at that time, so you got to be as close to 100% as you can.
All right. Again, congrats, Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Great job solidifying the backup quarterback job here in Jacksonville. I really wondered how long it would take for the lunatic fringe to come out. And first call of the week. How about that? Maybe I shouldn't have been surprised. Steve in Melbourne, you're up next here on Jaguars Today. Go ahead.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing this morning?
Good. What's up?
I just wanted to give my thoughts. I mean, the defense early let a little bit of running leak through, but I don't know what it is. Just if the team gets past that 50, they kind of tighten down a little bit. The offensive line, my concern, just that interior. Hodges did pretty good. I agree with Big Bo on the drill. Mind you, he got blew up that one time, but otherwise he stayed pretty consistent. Otherwise, left guard and center, I still have my concerns in the backup roles. I thought Mac Jones played a pretty good game. Mind you, I don't know what happened, just tripping over his feet quite a few times there. Tank ran hard, even though he got hit in the backfield quite a few times. I thought Jalen Jackson did pretty good. You heard that term again, running like a bowling ball. I believe we've heard that term used before on a former Jaguars running back. Overall, I thought we played pretty good. There was some bad, but there, like last week, there's more positive than negative, in my opinion.
All right. Appreciate it, Steve. I think that's a lot of that's very fair. You know, I think we've all got questions about the interior of the offensive line, whether it's backups or starters, quite frankly, right? Until we see them all together. And hopefully we'll get a glimpse of that on Friday night against Atlanta. And, you know, look, A, don't get anybody hurt. B, I hope Trevor looks fantastic because you're going to go as far as he takes you, despite what –
But we got Mac Jones, though. So.
We do, and they'll be yelling for him, from what I understand. That, and then let's just have some success. Let's win 51% of the time on the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you go back to this last preseason game. It's really good when you have your backups out there and they perform, say, 75% better than the other team. To have some mistakes, to have some guys still not look good, I think it's still going to be an issue for us running the ball inside the tackles. For whatever reason, we do not produce big holes. We do not produce holes where you can run through and nobody touches you for 5 yards.
You know what I thought had the holes of anybody? Gary Brightwell had a few holes. I thought Gary Brightwell ran great. And, you know, just goes to show you, Gary Brightwell's been kind of a journeyman, you know, guy, plotter, whatever. And I thought he looked fantastic. But then you got to realize he's going up against guys that are not going to be in the National Football League.
Exactly. And the later you get into the game, like these kind of games where you have backups starting the game, when you get down there and it's the threes and the fours, like the better guys, like your Mac Jones as a quarterback, should look good out there, should be throwing touchdowns because their cover guys aren't as good as your receivers. If they run good routes and you throw a good ball, you should be able to place it. It almost goes back to a little bit, it's not college, but guys are more open when you got threes and fours out there because they're fighting to make a team. They're fighting to make a team because they're not as good as your ones and your twos. So, you know, when you find matchups and you know you've got a guy that can make a play, it's easier to find it when you're back there with 3s and 4s. And take that from a guy who used to be a 3 at one point in time and had to go up against those guys. I would be licking my chops when I got out there because I'm like, I'm playing against the backups. I better be better than them. I should be. And let me go show you that I am.
And you're a guy who was a backup who took the starter's job, right?
Yeah.
But that starter had not just received a new 5-year commitment to whatever the market rate would have been there.
Yeah.
Like the top of the market.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Not
Byron
as
Leftwich
close
was
to that.
getting $250 million at that point in time. But, I mean, like, if you don't think that matters, this is the entire plan for the next half decade.
Yeah.
It has been laid out this offseason. And, you know, if Trevor Lawrence struggles a little bit, they're not sitting him in year one of the deal.
He hasn't given us a reason to think he's got a short leash. He's
not going to.
I don't even know why that should be even a conversation.
All right, let's go to Byron in Gainesville before we hit the break. Byron, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Duval! What's up, Byron?
Hey, guys, real quick. Dave, man, I've been listening to you guys and kind of listening to some other shows about our roster depth. I picked Bigsby and Mac Jones and Ventrell Miller were my 3 to watch. And it's hard to watch defense, but I kind of like what he's even making some progress. So where I'm going with this, David, is on your team, the 2017 teams, I'm just wondering how deep were y'all roster, because it's going to be hard to cut. That tight, the wide receiver room. I mean, heck, even the quarterback room, if that come back, that's going to be a tough cut. But everywhere but offensive line. But just tell me how important that is, what kind of season y'all had when looking for the teams that deep. Thank you, if you know what that means. And
Duval, thank you, Byron.
Well, I got to go a little further back than 2017. I got to go all the way back to 2007, where some of our listeners probably weren't really even thinking about football at that time. But you definitely want to have depth. You want to have depth because this is football. This isn't basketball. This isn't baseball. Guys are going to get hurt. And you want to have guys come in that can slide right in and you don't even know anything changed. So when you hear of a guy like a Tremmel, who we're talking about making all these plays, he's like receiver number 6, 7, or 8 or something like that. That's the kind of stuff you want, because you want to be able to cut guys, unfortunately, that are really good, and then maybe you try to put them on practice squad or something like that. But in years past, we've been trying to take other people's practice squad guys and maybe elevate them to our roster, and you don't want to have those type situations. You want to have a lot of guys, especially at offensive line. That's another one, and we've seen that, especially coming off of last year and a few years before that, where both of our tackles are down. We got a guard also down. Like, you're missing a lot of guys, so you don't want to have to go to the streets. We went and found Ezra Cleveland last year. We had to bring somebody else in from another team, and you want to be able to have those kind of guys in-house that are already there listening and been practicing and playing with your teammates,
Byron, appreciate the call. We got to take a quick timeout. We'll come back more with our quarterback, David Garrard, looking back on the Jags' Week 2 preseason victory over the Bucs. Your reactions welcomed as well at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here. You know how I feel about Pella Windows and Doors if you listen to this program. Great design, the strongest warranties in their industry, the highest quality products. Just take it from Consumer Reports. I even chose Pella Windows for my own home. And whether you're a homeowner replacing your windows like I was, or maybe you're building a new home from scratch, or a trade professional working with clients, I know the design experts at Pella can help your project run just as smoothly and look just as great as they did for me. Visit PellaJacks.com or go to the Pella showroom, and they're right there on Phillips Highway. That's Pella Windows and Doors.
Jaguars
Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors studios of 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
Prosser here. Hey, pick a news source.
But the reports are home prices are expected to decline in 2025, even after the election. So you need to maximize your home sales price now before this downturn, and you can do it with the agents proven to sell for top dollar, Chad and Sandy Newman. Hey, perhaps you're worried about selling for less money with a lowball out-of-state instant offer, or maybe you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not sure how. That's why you turn to Chad and Sandy, who have the answers. No required costly repairs. Chad and Sandy are the local real estate experts I trust and recommend for the sale of your home. Tony and Maggie at Jack's Golf and Country Club said, "We recently had a job transfer and we needed to sell fast. With homes in our area struggling to sell inside 100 days, we didn't know what to do. Our worries were solved when we hired Chad and Sandy. Our home sold in 3 days for one of the highest prices ever in our neighborhood at over $1 million. Call the local experts we trust, 904-414-6200 or ChadAndDSandy.com.
Tropical Smoothie Cafe here with your daily reminder to get on Tropic Time. Take 10. Sip a refreshing smoothie and manifest the your cabana side. Slade hot yoga? Treat yourself. Crushed back-to-back meetings? Get that me time. Adulted a little extra today? You deserve a vacay. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And look who's back and causing a stir. Our refreshing Island Punch, Mango Berry Cosmo, and Watermelon Mojito mocktail smoothies are here for a limited time.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
Here come rock and roll Hall of Famers. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. The Last Encores. Saturday, February 1st at Florida Theater. Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Tickets on sale now at floridatheater.com. Don't miss Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons live.
Hacker here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound Summer Slim Down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends, cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather, but the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound Summer Slim Down. But you say, Hack, summer's almost over. Well, that's the point. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing over 85 pounds. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping the first 20. Then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said it, and you'll be saying it too in just a few weeks. 20-pound Summer Slim Down with the solution for weight loss. Online, awaken180weightloss.com.
Weekends were made for sports, and I'll tell you my take on this weekend's best options. Pick it here. Watch for Weekend with Dan on YouTube and Facebook. Weekend with Dan is brought to you by Stone Core. We do outdoors better.
When the sun goes down, you might think a golf course shuts down, but not at the Golf Club of Southampton. Join the gang every Thursday night for trivia with Brooke and Jason, and everybody's favorite night, Friday night on the patio, featuring local musicians, food, and drink. It's all at the Golf Club of Southampton. Great golf. You've come to expect that. But don't forget, when night falls, the fun doesn't stop. Trivia every Thursday night and Southampton's live music patio session Fridays. Call 287-PLAY to make a tee time and the good time.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees, and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non one impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
The Jags walked away with their second preseason win against the Bucs 20-7 Saturday night. Backup QB Mac Jones helped secure the win after playing the entire first half and then coming back into the game in the fourth quarter. Head coach Doug Peterson spoke post-game on Mac's performance.
Well, we knew two quarterbacks that once Mac was done, he'd have to stay ready in the second half. That's always a given. But I thought overall Mac played a solid football game. He was obviously into it. You saw his intensity out there. Made some great throws, just led the team like expected, and then for him to come back off the bench, late in the game to throw that touchdown pass to Brevin, he loves playing. He loves playing the game. He did some great things tonight and helped us win this game.
Sound courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's a David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
No, listen, they did a great job. Some of their pressure packages were timely. We got edged a little bit, a couple of those sacks. And their secondary covered our guys. So, it's just a little bit of everything. But, we got to take a look at the film and obviously, make some corrections and, improve a little bit there.
That's Doug Peterson. The question, any concern regarding the sacks and pressures that they gave up against Tampa Bay? They were credited with allowing 5 sacks in the game. I mentioned the one, Mac Jones, I thought had a good pocket. Guys talked about it, mentioned it on the broadcast, kind of tried to slip out to the left and ran kind of into his own guy and went down. And 3 of the 5 sacks came on that same series against Beathard, who I don't know, Dave, you could probably break it down if you rewatched it a couple times as Beathard hanging on to it too long. Obviously, CJ's in a position there. He's a competitor too now.
Yeah.
Right? And we can all say, oh, Mac Jones is definitely going to be the backup. Well, CJ's like, let me have a say in this at least. And he led him to a field goal on the opening drive of the second half. And so he's out there trying to make plays. Had a nice run for a first down. But just, swallowing the ball and getting crushed on a couple of those on that one drive.
When you're out there with, the backups and sometimes third-team guys, you just can't hang on to the ball. You've got to know that they're fighting for their lives. They're trying to get this job, but they're in that spot for a reason. So for you have to think, get the ball out of my hands, and sometimes I have to throw it away. But you're also fighting for your own job, so you're trying to make plays too, and you want to hang in there. He's not the most spry guy, so you don't see him being a dual threat kind of person. He can make plays, and most quarterbacks can, but he still would rather sit in that pocket and get the ball to somebody and let them do it. He's just playing behind a offensive line that we're already struggling in certain areas already, and he's just making it worse by holding on to the ball too long.
I think the ideal scenario now for the Jags is, for the next couple of weeks, C.J. Beathard heals up. I don't expect to see him against anybody against Falcons on Friday, and then if you do let him go, what are they looking at based on his preseason performance that there's another team that's going to go, we got to have him on the roster? So I know they'd like to, I think, at least I say I know. I believe strongly that they'd like to get him to the practice squad, keep him as part of that quarterback room, keep him as a sounding board, and that's a great fit for him. And then if you need to make him active on game day, you're able to do that along the way. But, in a sense, it could work out in the Jags' favor that, they're going to, why are we picking up C.J. Beathard, who's kind of just an average guy anyway, and he's a little bit banged up now, so we'll see how it all goes. Unless the Jags are planning on keeping 3, which I don't think will be the way they go.
I think Trevor now is, he's mature enough where he doesn't need a veteran in the locker room. in the quarterback.
Does it help, though, to have that guy? Did you have that guy ever?
Not always, no.
Yeah.
I had other guys that were actually younger than me.
Right.
But it's good to have that guy because when you're in there breaking down film and going over blitz packages, and they see things sometimes that you're not seeing because they've seen so much more. And that's where it helps, the calming voice of those guys. Because, I mean, when you already hear some fans calling in talking about what they're going to do when Mac Jones gets out there after Trevor struggles, like, you need to have those other voices in the room saying, man, don't listen to that crap. Ain't nobody worried about that. Even Mac Jones should be saying that kind of stuff. Like, dude, I don't know what they're talking about.
And I think that is what he would say,
yeah,
honestly,
100.
if
it
went that way. All right, let's move along here at 641-1010. Charlie wants to talk Tank Bigsby, among other things. Charlie, good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. I would love to give you a Duval, but I want my daughter to. Real quick, Addison, say Duval.
Duval, right back at you.
That's the best one yet.
How old is your daughter?
She turns 2 in November.
Oh, so we got a 1+
Yeah.
in Duval. That's awesome, Charlie. Raise them right, buddy.
Thanks, guys. So, yeah, real quick, I know ETN is our explosive playmaker, right? But with the emergence of Tank, he's been running well. You know, he's made the improvements in the offseason, you know, and especially in these preseason games, he's running hard, made some improvements from last year. Can you guys see him being maybe a first and second down back with ETN maybe taking over the third down role responsibilities? And with that, my little daughter and I will take our comments.
All right. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate you. Look, this is not one I'm going to laugh out of the room. Like it's different at the running back position because multiple running backs get to play during the course of a game. You got a franchise quarterback or a guy that you elevate as your franchise quarterback, which is what this contract is clearly signaling with Trevor Lawrence. That guy is your guy. No, I don't. To answer the question, no. I don't think that they're going to take – I think Travis Etienne, different running style.
Yeah.
But I think he's more of a big play producer, and they really like what he brings in the passing game. And I understand your point that you do that a lot on third down. And I do think that there is something, Dave, to having that back that isn't always looking for the cutback lane or looking to hit the big play and is going to just bang it up there. And it looks like Tank is that guy right now. And I'm not saying he won't get a series or two throughout the course of a game where he gets to play on first and second down. But, I mean, I still believe they think ETN is one of the best playmakers they have, might be the best playmaker they have with the ball in his hands. And I don't think they're looking to take the ball out of his hands all that much.
No, they're not trying to diminish his role at all. They would love to be able to increase it, but you want to make sure you have that guy the entirety of the season and to be fresh throughout the season. And I think that's what Tank is going to be able to provide for him, is to spell him at times and there not be any kind of drop-off. Now, it might look a little different. Things might happen a little different. But when he's out there, we feel like, okay, Tank's in the game. We're not going to be coming in on Monday saying, well, why do they have Tank in the game so much? It's, hey, can we see Tank a little bit too? Because we've already got ETN killing. Let's let him rest a little bit on a couple drives. Bring Tank in, and now he is fresh, and he's able to hit those downhill, run between the tackles, get you the short yardage. He's going to have a lot of opportunities for those kind of things, but you still want to get the ball into ETN's hands because he's a difference maker. He's a guy that is your RB1 for a reason, because no matter where he gets the ball, he can hit a touchdown wherever he's at on the field. Tank is more hard-nosed, downhill, hard to tackle, slippery sometimes, but also can thump you as well. So it's a good thunder and lightning type combination. That's what you want. You want it to be a little bit of a switch up so the teams aren't just getting the same kind of runs, the same kind of back. They've got to actually change their mentality now. Oh, now here's ETN back in the game. Dang, now they just ran him around the end and he went for 60 yards on us. You know, that's what you want from these two guys.
Yeah, I do think they would like to take a little off ETN's plate just to make sure.
They don't want to have to, but you got to because you don't want to run them into the ground.
But I could see games. I'm not saying there's never going to be an instance where Tank comes in and maybe it's his drive, right? Every third drive or something like that. Let's say it's his drive, every fourth drive, whatever, and he has the hot hand, and he picked, let's say he has 6 carries for 54 yards on the drive, something like that, and you're like, He's lathered up. He's in a groove. Maybe he'll come. You bring him out for the next series. That doesn't mean that you're knocking Travis Etienne off of the pedestal as the number one running back on this football team, in my opinion. At least I'd be very surprised if it went that way. It's not an outrageous question to ask because again, ideally, I think when you have two competent backs, it's something around a 60-40 split between them, or maybe,
that's
60,
what I think.
Right, 60-35 and the other, Dearness Johnson or whomever gets the scraps.
I'd like to see both of them on the field at some point, too, where you have Etienne doing a little bit more slot-type stuff, maybe, jet sweeps, the screen games that they do with receivers because he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. But it messes up the defense because they're like, oh, shoot, we got two running backs out here. Both of them can catch it. One of them is really dynamic, but the other one is dynamic going, between tackles. So I think it could, give some real good matchup situations.
And I'm not putting them on this level of player. I'm talking about stylistically, Fred and MJD. You had that kind of thing. And there were times you were like, hey, we can roll with MJD, but Fred's still the guy.
I mean, Fred was still killing at that time, and then we just could see, MJD just making some unbelievable plays. Same kind of thing that Fred was doing when he was in his younger days, and you're like, we can take some off of Fred now so we don't have to run him into the ground. So we do get towards the playoffs. He's fresh. Both of them are fresh. And I remember throwing a few receiving routes to MJD down the field. Now, he gets really small the further he gets down the field, but he can still catch and he can still make plays. But to have somebody like him down there and somebody like Fred behind you makes you feel real good at the quarterback position.
Well, another guy who is small by receiver standards, Parker Washington. We'll talk about his impact because he immediately jumped off the page in the first quarter and jumped off the screen, so to speak, and had another productive day for himself there. So solidifying himself as a viable receiving option, is that enough to make him active on game day? As somebody asked that question today, said they couldn't believe Tony suggested last Friday that he might not be active on game day. There are reasons for that, and they all come down to special teams and what is the ultimate, dispensation. If Parker Washington's one of your two main kickoff returners, then he's going to be active on game day. But can Tank Bigsby fill that role? Does Keelan Robinson get healthy in time for the season to go along with Devin Duvernay? And is there a big special teams role? Because if you're that far down the pecking order at receiver, you got to contribute in that fashion. So let's talk Parker Washington when we return. We'll take more of your calls if you want to get in at 641-1010 on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines, or hit us up on the text line, same number at the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. David Garrard is in studio. Tony Smith has the day off. I'm Mike Dempsey along with Dylan Denmark. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's Saturday night under the Daytona lights.
This race never disappoints.
NASCAR Coke Zero 400 at Daytona. Brought to you by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234. From the station with the most horsepower, 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
At Garber Auto Mall, we can wiggle it. Best price, we can wiggle it. Best trade value, we can wiggle it. Best payment, we can wiggle it. Ford, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. With 8 American brands, we can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or online at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there's always a little room for wiggle.
Do the Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Roof damage? Call before you claim. Greenlaw Group, fighting insurance companies for you. They will work for you when you have roof damage. Don't let your insurance deny you. Don't call an adjuster. Call Greenlaw Group at 904-302-7055. Remember, if you have roof damage, call Greenlaw Group before you claim. They've settled millions and will work hard to get your claim and new roof. Greenlaw Group. Call before you claim. 904-302-7055.
Come to Monahan Jewelers store-wide 50 to 60% off sale going on now for a very limited time. Everything on display is 50 to 60% off at Monahan Jewelers. We've bought so much brand new jewelry, we need to make room for it. Diamond jewelry, engagement semi-mounts, colored gemstones, even gold chains. Right now, everything on display at Monahan Jewelers is 50 to 60% off. Jewelry's going quick, so come to Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Did it rain a lot this morning?
No, it was nice and sunny.
Well, the backyard's kind of swampy.
Huh, yeah. Especially where the septic tank is.
Oh, no. When was the last time we had our septic tank pumped?
Don't neglect your septic. Just call DuckDuckRooter, your local plumbing and septic experts. DuckDuckRooter.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
What defines a hero? Dedication, loyalty, courage. Every day at AMCO, we serve heroes. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. From complex transmissions to simple brake jobs with flexible financing and the extra safety precautions we need. The heroes we serve don't all wear uniforms. They're people like you. At AMCO, we're proud to serve all of you. AA MCO.
Money tight? We can finance almost anybody. Find the AMCO transmissions nearest you at amcojacksonville.com.
Firefighters, paramedics, police officers, they take care of us, and at AMCO, we're proud to take care of them. For over 60 years, we've repaired and maintained the most critical public service vehicles. As an essential business, we work on every kind of car repair with flexible financing and extra safety precautions. Essential, reliable, trusted. That's the men and women who are there for us, and it's our honor to be there for them. AA MCO.
Family owned and operated in Jacksonville, Orange Park, St. Augustine, and St. Mary's, Georgia. AMCO Transmissions and Total Car Care.
When storms start to crop up in the Atlantic or Gulf this time of year, having a solid plan to handle anything that sweeps through the first coast is very important. That's where American Electrical comes in. Ensure your home's safety and comfort with an American Electrical home generator. As the area's leading home generator dealer and installer, American Electrical can offer you easy installation, simple maintenance, and peace of mind. Schedule an assessment by simply calling the team at American Electrical. They'll walk you through the best generator for your home or business. Log on, american-electrical.com.
This is Nia Lauren Stample, former Florida State National Champion and the proud owner of NLS Cleaning. Just like on the gridiron, we tackle dirt and grime with unmatched precision. Whether it's your commercial property or your residential space, we are ready to take care of your exterior cleaning needs. NLScleaning.net.
Anytime I need to send flowers for any reason to anybody, there's no choice for me but Kuhn Flowers. This is 1010XL's Frank Frangie, and I've used Kuhn Flowers dozens of times over the years. Make Kuhn Flowers your choice for when you need to send a floral arrangement.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Meet David talking about his experience with BioTarget regenerative therapy at injury care centers.
After my first treatment of BioTarget, I noticed the results right away when I left the office. I was having pain in my knee and I was unable to run. After the treatment, I was able to start running again. I was taking like ibuprofen. It really wasn't working. Really didn't want to consider surgery at all, so that's why I seeked out the BioTargeting. You can have here at the Injury Care Center, they're going to give you 100% money-back guarantee for a treatment. I don't know if it gets any better than that. I was amazed about the results. I would definitely recommend this to my friends and family members.
Stop masking your pain with harmful medications. There's a better solution. BioTarget regenerative therapy has helped countless others, and it can help you too. Call 904-92-REGEN or visit gobiotarget.com today.
Here's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, sponsored by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. FSU head coach Mike Norvell, following practice over the weekend, was asked about special teams.
If you look at a group that has a chance to push us forward, it is our special teams units. We put a lot of time and investment into our special teams. And
University of Florida alum and ESPN reporter Laura Rutledge, coming to Gainesville for the home opener against rival Miami, expects Gator QB Graham Mertz to have a good year.
Graham Mertz coming back for his second year, I think he's going to be so much improved. And now he really knows this team. He knows the offense. He knows what he's supposed to be doing.
Sunday, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp walked off the Memphis Redbirds with an historic 8-run come-from-behind victory. It was Jacksonville's largest since June 2006. Next up is an away series with Nashville. In MLB play, the Marlins defeated the New York Mets. That's your Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
At 10:57, it's 87 degrees. Time at 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Not just Monday. David Garrard Monday on 1010XL. Brought to you by WaterboyJacks.com.
So, DG, if I'm calculating correctly in my head, 2 weeks from today, we'll do the first of 3 Jaguars Today Fantasy League drafts.
Yeah.
You're always invited. You usually...
And I always want to be in.
Okay, and so, whether that's the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's your choice.
Yep.
To get you in. We have not, for the record, started accepting submissions for that because somebody hit up Taylor last week. I think I heard them say, write a letter. Well, you will have to. It's 25 words or less. It's not a letter. It's a very easy thing, but please don't send anything now. And so anyway, we'll do that coming up in a few weeks. And maybe by the end of this week, I will officially open it up for submissions. We'll solidify it next week, who's in the leagues, and boom, we go on from there. So just going down, I don't even know how we got on it, reminiscing about some different things. And I was telling you, I played in this league in the late 90s, and you're like, the late 90s?
I thought it started by the time I got to the league.
Fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy football.
It got popularized.
That's
around
crazy.
that. MJD really, it was one of the guys who made it very popular because he
talked about it all the time.
And he talked about it when he went down.
I hated it.
When you guys played the Jets, right? Remember, he went down at the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Smart play.
Apologized to his
And he
fans.
apologized, right? And Scobie came in, still had to kick the field goal, but it was a chip shot, the old extra point distance, and the Jags won the game. And he did. He apologized to his fantasy managers. And this was 13 years ago. 15 years ago. I know, because SiriusXM is 15 years old, the fantasy channel. And he and I started doing a show together 2 months after they launched. And that was what put him on the radar with them.
Yeah.
Just 15 years ago, most players were like, I don't want to hear about fantasy. I don't want to hear about fantasy now.
We're trying to play real football, and I can't think about what's happening in the fantasy world.
But if you're an offensive skill guy, it helps increase your popularity if you play well. And so anyway, I was going, you think late 90s. I mean, really, fantasy's been around for decades longer than that, but it was usually just home leagues. But I was telling you, I played in the USA Today, the national contest that they had. It was a salary cap deal. And you're like, well, how did you change your lineup? Did you have to phone somebody? Yes, Dave. That's exactly what we did.
I was like, there's no internet. I mean,
we
there
picked up
might
the
have been
landline,
internet, but
we rotary dialed a number that was many digits long.
Fantasy hotline here.
No, it was like, please hold. And then you'd wait on for 20 minutes, and you'd tell them I want to, or maybe, and I'd like Emmitt Smith, please, this week, or whatever the case may be. So never really won much in that contest.
Not that you remember.
That was no. I'm pretty sure I would remember. I didn't win much at all in the USA Today salary cap game, but that's what got me started down the path.
It was called the salary cap game.
It was because it's like, you ever heard of an auction league? Like, you get a $200 budget. Right? Okay. And instead of drafting players, let's say you have the first position.
For players.
You nominate a player. All right, Christian McCaffrey. Maybe he goes for $50 or $60 out of your $200 budget, right? But you get to bid. And everyone has a chance to get him. It's kind of gamesmanship and all that. So it was similar to that in that all the players had a salary, you had a budget, here's what your salary cap is. you can have any players you want as long as they all fit in under the budget. So, and as long as you were willing to hang on the phone for 20 minutes to change out your kicker or whatever the case may be.
I wonder what those phone bills cost.
I don't know. Ask my dad. You think I certainly didn't have a cell phone, and I certainly wasn't pumping quarters into any payphone to make the calls back then. So I'm assuming most of it was done on my family's dime. I don't know. It could have been toll free for all I know. I can't really recall. All right, let's talk Parker Washington here because we did tease how we wanted to get into his performance, and another solid game for him here, Dave. And look, I get how you could question that. Parker Washington was great week 1, but what he was great, he had the big kickoff return, okay? He had a good punt return. He had 1 reception, but he was clearly a standout performer.
Yes,
right? In this one, got targeted 3 times, caught them all, 38 yards. Looked like Mac Jones' first read, right? When he got in there, scored the touchdown, which was a really nice play, and that was did Jones. He took the sack on the play before that, right? Like a 6-yard sack, and that was another one where I thought the pocket awareness wasn't great, but threw a beautiful ball. Parker, good route, sprung him free. All right, Dave, it's game day, okay? You got Christian Kirk, you got Gabe Davis, you got Brian Thomas. They're all up. You got Devin Duvernay because he's your primary return guy. If Tim Jones is on this team, Tim Jones is on this team for a reason. He's a core 4 special teamer. He's probably up on game day because he's contributing on all these capacities. If Parker Washington isn't one of your primary return guys, is he active on game day?
Yeah, Duvernay, he scored a touchdown.
He did.
He made a great play. We haven't really gotten to see him.
Not a ton.
Return. So you're like.
Not return at all. Right?
Yeah.
I think they're protecting him.
I'm sure they are. Yeah. And maybe they can see what we're not able to get to see in the games in practice. Like, they're like, oh, my gosh, look at all these moves he's doing.
The guy was the all-pro return guy last year.
Yeah, I know. So that's what I didn't watch all the Ravens. I know his name.
Sure.
And I know he made a ton of plays
but they
for him.
know. And they know what he's capable of.
And so they're like, Parker Washington, man, you're doing great, but this is still our guy, though. But you're not going anywhere. And so if that is the case, then, yes, you probably won't see him as much on game day.
Right.
But that's a good thing for the Jaguars.
If good players are inactive.
Yes.
Right. That means your overall roster depth is stronger.
Absolutely.
I can't sit here and guarantee you that he won't be active on game day.
Yeah.
They may go, hey, you know what? He's been doing so well as a return guy. We'll throw him in there with Duvernay, and he's a great option. But they could also go, look, there's no question that Tank Bigsby is active on game day. He's your backup running back, and he can handle that second return spot as well. And again, Keelan Robinson is a bit of the mystery man because he's been in that walking boot this past week.
I don't know who he is.
He's the draft pick that they brought in out of Texas to be a supplement in the return game. Yeah. He's a super speedy guy. He's not much of he's a running back, but not much of a between the tackles guy.
Yeah.
And
it's tough when you don't get to see somebody because they're injured. That's the whole you can't make the club in the tub type thing.
But at the same time, when you invest a draft pick in a guy, he's got that weighing in his favor.
Yeah, but it's just tough because if he's in a boot, then you haven't seen him do much of anything.
Yeah, they haven't, right?
Yeah, so then he's not going to be out there
at least since
1.
OTAs and minicamp and stuff like that.
He's good now.
Well, no, he's not. Now he's
good.
Before he was healthier. Now he's been dealing with it basically during training camp because going into training camp, Heath Farwell and Press Taylor, your special teams and your offense coordinator, both kind of raved about what he could potentially bring. And the idea was, well, he'll be up because he'll be one of your primary return guys. And then can he serve as your third running back, if he is up? And then even if you have 4, like with Dearness Johnson in that scenario, if he is one of the 4, be a game day inactive.
Yeah, the tough thing is we haven't seen you with pads on.
Haven't seen you at all,
and
right.
Go up against any kind of preseason people. And then also you're in a boot. It's not like it's your hand or something or it's your pec or your shoulder where you can still run around and, keep up that speed and, stay somewhat in shape. You're in a boot, so it's kind of tough to do that. And then are we going to really count on you week 1 to be a part of anything? When these guys have shown, like Parker Washington has shown what he can do out there? I think that's where it's tough. And so maybe he's a guy that they can let get back and do some stuff during the season as he's recovering. And then maybe guys have gotten injured or, they've shown what they can do. And now we're like, hey, let's give him a chance now because he's 100% healthy. I don't know. That, to me, seems like be the more realistic thing.
The cut downs are going to be fascinating for this team because in years past, the Jags would cut down to 53 and you'd be like, oh, those last three guys better not feel too comfortable because we're going to find somebody cut from another team and we're going to upgrade them, right? Whereas here, they may have guys they feel in-house are the better options, but if you want Andrew Winger to play this year, you got to carry him on the initial 53 before you put him on IR, right? You can't put him on IR now, so that's a roster spot. Now, immediately, you place him on IR, but all those guys that you cut have to go through waivers.
Yeah.
So, you're rolling the dice. The guy we actually want up on this roster, we might have to waive, keep our fingers crossed that nobody else claims him, So you're going to have that situation. You got Tashawn Gibson with the 6-game suspension coming up as well, which is good once you get him, into the reserve suspended list or whatever they call it. But you still got to get him there throughout this process. So, a guy like Keelan Robinson, do you waive him injured with the idea that you're going to put him on IR for the year and just have a lost year? Or do you think you can still get something out of him 3 weeks into the season, and so you just waive him and you try to get him to the practice squad and does somebody else recognize his potential value?
That's why Trent and those guys get paid
it's
good
tough,
money.
Right?
And they're always on the hot seat, it seems like. How did that guy, I can't think of his name, starts with a T, 45, our safety?
Terrell Edmonds?
Yeah, Terrell Edmonds.
I felt like a kind of a quiet game.
Okay, I remember seeing him on one play come downhill like a missile. And
yeah, he did.
And light somebody up.
Okay.
This dude is not afraid to hit. I wonder how he is in coverage and that kind of stuff.
Well, he had 2 forced fumbles last week, so definitely,
Because he comes downhill with bad intentions. Like, he is double D. I don't care who you are. You're wearing a different color jersey. I am going to put my shoulder through your heart.
And I think, like him, he is a guy that I would feel comfortable being on the 2 deep at safety because he's started a bunch in the National Football League. But again, how are you going to finesse this, right?
Well, because you got your guy Winger, but he's not playing right now.
He's not playing. He's hurt. But again, if you can't put him on IR before the cut down because then he's done for the year.
Yeah.
And so if you think Winger can come back like in week 5 or 6, you got to hold him on the 53. Then you put him on IR and see how it all turns out. So I don't know. Another guy, Trey Flowers, who I felt was on the roster bubble at best, had an excellent game.
I watched him defend that ball in the end zone. Great job.
And that was what he had a couple of pass breakups in the game. And you got a number of these guys who played in Atlanta under Ryan Nielsen. That Ryan Nielsen brought in because I know what this guy brings.
Yeah.
Joe Gaziano, kind of kid. He showed up, got signed the day before the game, and I think he was credited with 3 pressures, and he had the sack, 14-yard sack on the final play, which, look, doesn't matter really in the grand scheme of things if you won 20-7 or 20-14. Well, to the 11 guys who are on defense at that moment, it matters to them, right? Because they're trying to put as impressive a film out there as possible. I don't know if he has a prayer to make this team. I just thought it was impressive that the guy could come in and one day later he's just out there. He's like, show me where the quarterback is. And let me go get him. So, good for him for getting that look, and having that performance.
He made something with the opportunity he had, and he went out there and got a sack. We've been calling for sacks around here for
no doubt,
years.
But how tough is it, though, to come in as basically the 90th guy on the roster? Like, you were free, right? We let a guy go. We brought you in. And, you made some plays. You're making them late in the football game against guys who probably won't be playing. I mean, maybe, for him, the best possible path to stick around is the practice squad as well.
Yeah, well, we always say when you have your opportunity and your number's called, go out there and do something, because it's not just you're trying to do it just for this team. For him, he's a prime example. He was somewhere else, got onto this team with, a day before the game and went out there and made a play. That is going to resonate with somebody somewhere. and somebody's going to be thin in other places. We may be a little bit more stout where we are for his position, but somebody's going to need him somewhere. Also, can he be a special teams guy, that kind of stuff? If not, still, you have your practice squad somewhere.
And then you got Asazio Tomowa, who I'm getting better at his name every time.
That rolled off pretty good.
But he had a sack and a half last week, had a sack this week, and yet Breland Speaks getting a sack again, the UFL Defensive Player of the Year. So they're looking for some options to mix in there with Trevis Gibson on that next wave of pass rushers when Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker invariably need a rest. So we'll see how it all shakes out. Obviously, we'll get a better look at what the Jags feel about their roster when you see who's starting, who's playing extended time, who's next man up when you play. This is the dress rehearsal, so to speak, coming up on Friday. So we'll get into some comments. You mentioned tough job being a GM in the National Football League. Trent Baalke joined Brian Sexton and Bucky Brooks.
I saw that
on the TV broadcast.
Yeah.
So we'll hear a few thoughts of what he had to say about this team coming together as we go forward. 641-1010 if you want to get in on the Garber Auto Mall phone lines. The question today, simply asking you your reaction to the Jags' 20-7 win over the Tampa Bay Bucks on Saturday night. With David Garrard, I'm Mike Dempsey. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
What is it that this town really does well?
1010XL. Jacksonville's football station.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. Deadline August 31st. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Well, all the news forecasts say that home prices are expected to decline in 2025. Hey, that's great if you're buying a home. But if you're selling one, you might want to get to it. And when it comes to selling your home, the agents you should trust are Chad and Sandy Newman at chadandsandy.com. Maybe you want maximum equity from your home, but you're not sure how. And you don't want to worry about costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. Those things are all out with Chad and Sandy. They're the local real estate experts you can trust, and I recommend for the sale of your home, or for the sale of mine for that matter, maybe I should look into it. Hey, don't trust me. Trust Jacqueline from Biscayne Estates. My inherited home became a nightmare when it went unsold for 177 days and ended up with a large lien. With expenses mounting for my handicapped daughter and no way to pay, I was desperate. At this point, I turned to Chad and Sandy. The change was amazing. Chad and Sandy sold my home in 3 days at a higher than asking price. Find out for yourself at chadandsandy.com or 904-414-6200.
Have you or someone you care about been arrested or had their driver's license taken away? I'm Susan Cohen, and I work with David Robbins at the law firm of Epstein & Robbins. We are experienced fighters for those charged with DUI and all criminal offenses. I've been named the best DUI attorney in the state, and David has been named the best criminal defense lawyer in Jacksonville. In your battle with the justice system, there is only one thing you need to know. Dial David 24/7 at Epstein & Robbins, 354-5645.
Dream Finders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
Lauren Brooks here. Circa Resort and Casino has an incredible all-in package for Duval in December. For only $500 tax and resort fee included, get a 3-night stay at Circa, $200 food and beverage credit, plus a day bed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive screen, it's the world's largest hot tub party. Join us Heels Friday night for a Jacksonville pep rally with specials and giveaways. To book the Jacksonville Game Day Getaway and join the Heels in Vegas, visit circalasvegas.com today.
Clean air, cool air, both are extremely important. Trust Florida Home AC to deliver on both with their Remy Halo, the next generation of air quality technology. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and breathe clean and cool air.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, rolling lot spot bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
It's soccer around the world, and here at home on the Sporting Jax Soccer Hour on 1010XL. Join Cole Pepper, Mauricio Ruiz, and Becky Burley for Soccer Talk.
Tuesday nights at 6
on 1010 a.m.
Cold beer and good grub. That's what you'll get at Taps on 210. Just a great neighborhood feel where friends and family get together. Check out Taps in the Winn-Dixie Plaza, just west of 95 on County Road 210, proudly supporting our 9 After 5 weekly. Head there for a cold one.
Make the move to ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, and you won't hear your employees complain about the copier anymore. Instead, you'll hear this. Advanced Business Solutions, your local Xerox dealer.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
Lauren Brooks here. If you're in pain and you think you've tried everything, I've got a solution for you. The team at Active Health Jax treats the source of the problem, not just the pain, so you can avoid surgery, cortisone injections, and pain medications. I've had neck aches for years, and I've tried everything from acupunctures to massages with no results. Within minutes of my evaluation and treatment, the tension was gone. It was amazing. Active Health Jax can help you too. Give them a call at 904-296-0202 today or visit them online at activehealthjax.com.
I-9 Sports wants to make sure kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. And right now, fall and winter registration is open. Find out what I-9 Sports offers across Duval, Clay, and St. John's. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Barra & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Jaguars Today on 1010XL with David Garrard. Brought to you by WaterboyJax.com.
All right, moving along here with DG in-house, our Monday morning quarterback, looking back on another successful preseason game for the Jags. And granted, we understand. A bunch of the stars didn't play, neither did the Bucs. It was what it was. It was the Mac Jones showcase to win the backup quarterback job or to solidify it, and he did that. And a few other guys caught our eye as well, and I'm sure it matters to them, matters to the coaching staff trying to make the difficult cuts down to 53. But it's I kind of like the way it's set up because in years past, Dave, you'd look to the last preseason game like, just get it over with.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
when is the cut?
Friday? Well, the cuts will come I want to say I'm not sure the exact
Saturday,
date.
Sunday?
Maybe like Monday.
Okay.
Something like that, I think.
Gotcha.
But, because you have 2 weeks after this upcoming weekend before the season starts, although I guess 2 weeks from Thursday with the Chiefs and the Ravens. So they'll be coming sooner rather than later. But, this one you had to look forward to because you had the hometown guy playing quarterback for you. And you kind of knew that in your back pocket, well, Friday night we're going to get to see our guys go.
Yeah, man.
And here's the thing, though. Kirk Cousins is not going to play. And Michael Penix apparently is not going to play. So
that's weird.
It's the Taylor Heineke show. So I expect Jaguars defense needs to show out.
Yeah. He's been a starter before, so
he has.
Not like he can't play.
But to me, this is much more about the lines of scrimmage.
Yeah, we should get after him.
Well, let's hope. All right, let's get out to the phones here. 641-1010. By the way, it doesn't help you now if you're trying to listen on the AM. Didn't mention we had NASCAR picking up on the AM dial at 11 o'clock. So if you figured it out, 92.5 on the FM or all our streaming sites are still rolling as well. The 1010 AM stream is obviously going to play NASCAR as well. So that's the beauty of having multiple
We ain't talking
avenues.
NASCAR here.
We're not talking NASCAR here, Dave. Jordan is in Kingsland, Georgia. Jordan, you're on Jaguars Today. Go ahead, please.
Hey, guys. Pretty cool talking to you. I'm not actually a Jags fan, but watching the game, I thought it was pretty interesting to see what Balky is going to end up getting for Mac Jones because I got to imagine there's a trade package out there for somebody's looking for another backup quarterback, or somebody's going to go down. I just was curious to get your guys' thoughts. I'll take your comments off the air. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it. Yeah. We talked about this off the air. I don't think they trade him at all.
I don't. Not with CJ having a growing issue now.
You're not going to get something that, to me, that moves the needle. He went for a 6th-round pick this offseason. He was available to anybody who had a 5th-round pick burning a hole in their pocket. Could have had Mac Jones. So, you temper it with, he played well, but he also played, it was against backups, and he made some good throws. He also had some whatevers. But, I mean, for the Jags, what would you accept? Like, I'll take a 2nd-round pick because that's a premium player, but you're not going to get that, right?
No. And we need him for this season.
I'm not going to take a 4th-round pick. We've got an extra 3rd and 4th next year. Right. If Trevor goes down, the value of having Mac Jones on your roster goes up exponentially.
Yeah.
I just don't know
if you think other teams are going to clamor to try to come get him, you better off keeping him where he's at because you need him just in case, and that you hope you don't have to ever need him, but in case you do, like last season, now we have somebody that can step in that we feel like Trevor, you can actually take a week or two to get over your injury so you're not continuing to stay hobbled throughout the end of the season.
I just don't think there's an NFL front office that went out there and said, I wouldn't give a 5th-round pick for Mac Jones, that all of a sudden is going to go based on a couple of weeks of the preseason you know what, I'm going to give you enough now that would
they'll
make
just
you
wait till the
give up your
offseason
plan.
If they want to.
Right, for next year. Do I think that he could, if given a fair chance, be in the mix with Minshew and O'Connell out there in Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those guys have been there in that offense, and if you're the Raiders, you're like, where are we going? You know what? With any of these guys at quarterback, is Mac Jones the difference between you making the playoffs, not making the playoffs? I just don't think, there may be a market for him, but I don't think it's a market that's going to get the Jags to blink, and move him, at least in my opinion. Jordan, thank you for the call. Let's go to Kirk in Tennessee next up here on Jaguars Today. Good morning, Kirk.
Good morning, Mike. Thank you so much for taking my call. I'm rolling through Georgia, heading back to Tennessee.
Okay.
And I got to say something to David, too. David, let me tell you, my daughter is a big fan of yours, and when she was 16 or 17, we stopped in front of the stadium, and we were on our way out, and you posed with her for a picture and left an indelible impression on her. And I'm so thankful that you're such a gracious and kind man.
I appreciate
now,
that.
let's talk about Mac. I think Mac did a great job at the game. He again, second and thirds that he's playing against. He's not playing against the firsts, but at least we saw what his potential is if Trevor goes down. $275 million. He's not going to be sitting on the bench. Come on, guy number one, when you called in, I was thinking, what kind of a knucklehead are you anyway? Give that man a hot dog for being an idiot. And thank you, Mike, for correcting me.
All right, well,
that's fine.
I'd be a lot fatter than I was if you got a hot dog every time you were an idiot.
Me too. And I'm already too fat.
Look, it is what it is. I think those people are in a couple of different categories, and I don't really take it seriously. But I'm glad Mac Jones played well. But I put it this way, I feel better if Trevor were to miss 2 weeks with the situation they have now compared to the situation they had with Beathard. That's it. That's the sum total of it. But when you're a team who went 9-8 and missed the playoffs by a game, and you had won any one of those games down the stretch, and you had a healthy backup alternative with a higher ceiling than you had, probably would have been playing in a couple of those games, and maybe you win one, and maybe you do get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's a long season, and you want to make sure that you've got that depth. You don't want to have to go to somebody that you've got to change the playbook around. You can't call certain plays. You can't throw certain routes. You want somebody that can step right in that is fairly similar to your quarterback that's already out there so that the playbook just continues on and everybody can get the same kind of routes that they've been normally running and the coaches can call the plays that they're used to calling and it not dip off at all. And I think that's what you get when you have a Mac Jones.
All right, let's get to a couple of comments from Trent Baalke. As we mentioned, he joined Brian and Bucky in the booth on the game broadcast on Saturday night. Dylan, we'll just fire off a few of these, starting with cut one, on how he sees the difference in evaluating like the joint practices they had with the Bucs, where some of it was live versus preseason game evaluation? How do you weigh those?
Well, it all matters. Obviously the game tape's the game tape, and you put a lot of stock in that, but you want to see how they work day to day, how they prepare both mentally and physically to get themselves ready for this day. And we're fortunate. We got a really good culture right now. These guys want to be here. They want to be involved. They bought in, and they're working tremendously hard, both on the field and in the classroom.
Did you have many joint practices in your days here in Jacksonville?
We did. We had a few. We had the Saints. I think we had the Bucs one time too. Okay. Yeah. So not many though.
Always geographically, close.
Get teams that are close.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
We did go to Atlanta and do one with Atlanta up there.
How did you,
Matt Ryan,
weigh that compared to preseason game performance?
Yeah, no, they're really good. Because you're going up against a team where you've been going against your guys back then where you could do 2-a-days. So we had a lot of practices with each other where you're going up against guys that do things totally different than your team. So it gives you, it can be tough at times because you're like, we don't see this at all in our practices. But then there's some times where you're like, oh, this works perfectly with the routes that we're running now, So it's good because it gives them somebody different to look at, and the same for you. So I think it's good. You get a lot of fights and a lot of tussles throughout because it's hot and dudes are pushing it and you're not getting that brotherly love like you normally get. So, but that's usually the guys in the trenches.
All right, speaking of the trenches, great segue here. Trent Baalke was asked on the broadcast, how do you improve the physicality? You need to be more physical. How do you do that on the lines of scrimmage?
Well, I think it's just a mindset. It's something that we worked on all off season. In the preparation phases in the weight room, we've done a lot of talking about it. Within the building, within the organization. We want to be the most physical team on the field on that day. That's our goal. We want to be smart. We want to be physical, and we want to be in shape and conditioned and mentally sharp.
And one of those guys, Dave, is their second-round pick this year, Mason Smith, who is just. Looks like straight out of central casting, how you'd want to build a defensive tackle that could play the run and the pass. And, again, if you're just box score reading, you're where's Mason Smith on Saturday? But if you watch the game and focus on what he did, or maybe go back and watch the replay, I thought he was pretty good and pretty physical in that regard that we're talking about here. And Baalke was asked about what he's seen from his second-round pick.
Well, I think we've got to remember with Mason, he's really played a year and a half of college football. He's a big man. He's an athletic guy. He's got a lot to learn. But the thing you love about him, and it's going to sound redundant, but these guys come to work. They really do. They've worked their tail ends off all off season. We've structured it in such a way that we're giving them more reps than we've ever given the rookie class for a reason, to put them in those situations.
All right, Mason Smith was on my short list of guys I wanted to watch this week, and really, and the regular broadcast, it's tough to follow a particular lineman, but I was able to go back, and that new NFL Pro that where you could always watch in the past, like the All-22 and stuff like that.
Oh, I need that.
Now you can do, like, cut-ups on third downs and whatever. It's getting a lot more sophisticated.
Yeah, well, I was just telling my son, I said, I got to get the All-22 this year so I can watch some old lineman stuff with you and show you what you should be doing out there on the field.
Absolutely.
And it's called what now?
NFL Pro.
NFL
right?
Pro.
Like,
okay.
And it's like
because I couldn't find the All-22 anymore.
You can get it's available through that, and you can get it costs me like $16 a month.
Okay.
And
I got so many
season.
Streaming things now that
write it off on your taxes.
One more, yeah.
And there you go. All right, we'll come back and we'll take a look at today's Chet and Sandy real estate question of the day with some final reactions, yours included. If you still want to get in at 641-1010 with David Garrard, we'll look back on the Jags beating the Bucs 20-7. I'm Mike Dempsey along with Dylan Denmark. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for Awaken 180, challenging you. Still plenty of time. Lose 20 pounds by the end of summer. Heck, you might lose a lot more by the end of summer. Usually, customers with Awaken 180, clients with Awaken 180, lose a bunch of weight in that first week. I lost nearly 10 pounds my first week, and I had already dropped a lot of weight at that point in time. Needed the final push to get down to 225, and I was able to do that. And the key is not only lose the weight, but keep it off. Look what Hacker has done. He posted a picture this weekend. He's down 92 pounds. He's also down to 225. And guess what? He's going to have that same success keeping it off as long as he follows the coaching and guidelines of Awaken 180. Hit your goal weight. It's free coaching and support for life. Call 844-346-1800 if you're looking to not only lose the weight, but maybe keep it off for the first time in your life. 844-346-1800 for Awaken 180 weight loss. Over 98% satisfaction rating from over 21,000 customers online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios.
Jennifer, Luxury has a new address in Jacksonville.
Oh, do tell, John.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard. We've got over 40 Cadillac Lyrics in stock.
40? That's incredible. Any color you want?
You bet. Pick your color and drive away today. Plus, we're giving away a free home charger with every Lyric.
Fantastic. Anything else?
How about a car you'll never have to change the oil on?
No oil changes ever? Now that's luxury.
Randy Marion Cadillac, where Jacksonville meets luxury.
Visit us today on Southside Boulevard and tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
This is Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I was known for protecting our quarterback. These days, I'm extending that protection to a different arena, your home. I have partnered with Heritage Roofing of North Florida, your premier local roofers with over 25 years of experience. Heritage is your go-to roofer for hurricane preparation with same-day inspections and estimates. They also work with all insurance companies. Let Heritage Roofing of North Florida safeguard your home and family. Visit heritagenfl.com for your free estimate today.
State license CCC 1335410.
Jaguars Today.
You're settled into a Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
When pests invade your space, you don't just need them out, you need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, we show up for you and eliminate pests quicker. Because we care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so do we. Don't live with a pest problem. Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
Hey gang, Hicken here for Zero Res. Man, it is hot outside this time of the year. Many of us are staying inside or going to the pool. Well, my friends at Zero Res are also heating things up. As you know, Zero Res does a great job of cleaning carpets and rugs. But they also clean luxury vinyl planking, tile and grout, fine stone and hardwood floors. And right now, the hottest price of the year, 25% off all hardwood cleaning. That's 25% off tile, LVP, fine stone, and hardwood floors. Zero Res, man, spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it back. It's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. He'll help you find the fish.
Bite's gonna pick up pretty soon.
Captain Kevin and the Wing Power Fishing Forecast Show. Yeah! Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Veterans Wholesale Cabinets.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
Duck Duck Rooter is a full-service plumbing company. They can fix everything from a simple leaky pipe or clogged drain to a large-scale repipe job, serving both commercial and residential customers. When you're stuck, call the Duck. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
Brian Wall here. Would you take your paycheck, go to the bank, cash it, and then simply throw it up in the air? I didn't think so. But in a way, over the years, that is exactly what you're doing if you have old or builder-grade windows in your home. Even if you have a brand new home, those windows are not the best windows you can have to save on your energy bills. Window World has sold millions of replacement windows to homeowners like you, and Window World's customer satisfaction is the highest in the business. Please check Window World out yourself and save on your new windows and on your energy bills. Compare with other companies and you'll see Window World is simply the best for less. It's up to you. You can call Window World and get a free estimate, get the best guarantee in the window replacement business, save money on your new windows, and save more on your energy bills. Call Window World today at 904-443-7001 or go online to windowworldneflorida.com. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Running back Tank Bigsby heavily contributed to the Jags' second preseason win against the Bucs Saturday night, carrying a lot of the offense in the first half. Bigsby spoke post-game on his thoughts about the offensive line and their blocking.
How those guys was fighting, we all come out and try to put our best foot forward and fight. Practice starting Monday, we got to go out there and get better every day, but them guys did their job. They did what they're supposed to do. As runners, we have to make people miss, and that's our job, create things and make things happen. But they did a great job. They are improving a lot. We are improving in the back room, the running back room, so it's amazing.
Bigsby finished with 10 carries for 37 yards while catching 3 passes for 19 yards. Sound courtesy of Jaguars.com. I'm Molly McDonald with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars Update.
XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, cooling it down with David Garrard in studio here with us, our Monday morning quarterback every single week. Tony Smith has the day off. Jeff Loggeman in tomorrow for a Check the Tape Tuesday. And Dave, I can't help but think, it's like the whole offseason. We get excited about certain things. Oh, contract extension. Oh, stadium deal. Once training camp comes, you kind of put all that aside.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's about, okay, building blocks and putting this team together. You got the preseason games. Oh, we're all excited about that. Then once you get to the regular season, who cares? Right? Yeah. I mean, if you care to the degree that if what you're seeing shows you what's going to be coming, right? But if the Jags, no matter what they do, the Jags can run for 200 yards against the Falcons in the first half. And if they can't run the ball against the Miami Dolphins, who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I do think there are, particularly the interior of the offensive line, the questions about how well they're going to be able to move people are just not going to get answered until we get into the regular season.
It's not. I mean, from what we've been seeing still, the last 2 games, it's not there quite yet. So hopefully they've been able to scheme things and figure out ways that they're going to get some run game going. If not, they're just going to be relying heavily on Trevor to throw the ball. And we know what happens when you're just disproportionate in run to pass, and you got your quarterback back there just too often where the defense is not worried one bit about you're going to try to run the ball up the middle. You're probably going to try to get it outside, do receiver screens and all those kind of things. Those things work well when you've got everything, churning together.
Yeah, Tony Baselli mentioned it, and we were talking about it on the pregame about the impact of Brian Thomas. Well, what leads to those big plays downfield often is play action. And if they're not respecting the potential handoff on that play action, it's going to dictate how that coverage looks as well. So, let's hope they look good against Atlanta. And, again, regardless, even if they look great, got to carry that over after another couple weeks go by. So we'll see how it all shakes out. But I am looking forward to seeing what, the starting offensive line can get done with the 5 guys that they expect to be their stalwarts playing together for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, if they're all going to be out there, I'm going to be looking at, do we move the ball on the ground at all?
Yeah.
Do we give ETN or whoever's out there an opportunity to get to at least the second level anytime? Do we see any holes where they can get upfield and make any progress in the run game? You're practicing these things in the preseason so that you can start duplicating them in the regular season. You got to see it a little bit here and there to make sure that you can do it when the regular season comes. You can't just wait till the regular season and say, we're going to flip the switch, and now we're going to start opening up holes. Let's do it now, because a lot of it is just man on man, making sure that you're double teaming the right people, all that kind of stuff that the offensive line does. But you want to see it. You want to see these guys dig deep and be able to move guys off the ball and open some holes for our running backs.
All right, Dole, we got a few minutes here. Let's take a quick look around the rest of the National Football League. We'll do that coming up right
now. Gems around the NFL. Brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jax Beach.
You hear that little panic?
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. It's all good. We're right here. All right. What went down yesterday in the preseason couple of games, wrapping up week 2 as Bo Nix goes 8 of 9 for 80 yards and a touchdown. Maybe clinching the starting quarterback job for Denver,
good.
although Sean Payton has been non-committal. How about this? Trey Lance, who's been around forever, it seems like. He's younger than Bo Nix.
I mean, Bo Nix is pretty old. I remember watching him like back in my younger days.
But like when you think like wow, Trey Lance, man, like he'll never amount to anything. Well,
he's still young.
He's still younger than certain rookie quarterbacks are in this circumstance. Denver knocking off the Packers 27-2 in that game, and Jared Stidham, who had been competing and may still be, Sean Payton won't make a final determination yet. 7 of 11, 65 yards and an interception in the game, so not great showing there. Former Jaguar Joshua Dobbs is vying to become the backup to Brock Purdy in San Francisco. Had a pretty solid day, 12 of 21 for 133, passing against the Saints yesterday, and ran it 3 times for 25 yards and a score as well. And it was described by some out there as a gamer. And we'll see. Had a kind of an interesting year. Was it last year?
Yeah, last year.
Bounced around.
Everywhere.
And
had a nice run with Minnesota for a little bit.
Like the first week or two in every stop, he's okay.
And the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, the Cardinals, another one, absolutely. Was he in Cleveland at all last year? I don't
think so.
Yeah, no?
No.
Maybe I just felt like he should have been at some point.
Cleveland went through Flacco, Deshaun Watson, and
several others.
Somebody else.
Yeah, I think they went through a couple of others.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson, maybe?
Yeah,
I might be wrong on that.
I think you might be right about that, actually.
You might be right.
I want to say at least one more that played for Cleveland last year. So anyway, you got those results from yesterday. Gardner Minshew was named the Raiders' starting quarterback over Aiden O'Connell. I didn't think it was a particularly
They said nobody
game.
blew anybody out in that.
I think it came down to this. Who'd they pay?
Yeah.
They paid Minshew.
Yeah.
And it's not eye-popping money, and it's not the same as, hey, we paid the guy we drafted number 1 overall $250 million.
Yeah.
Right? It's not but it's still a much more sizable commitment than Aiden O'Connell has.
Yeah, and he came off of a season where he actually performed pretty good for Gardner Minshew standards with the Colts. Like, it's not like he was just out there. He actually had a pretty decent year.
He's okay. He is who he is.
They had a chance to go to the playoffs.
They did. They did. And he was the primary guy after Richardson got hurt like in week 4 last year. And in Pittsburgh, the quarterback 1 battle, according to Mike Tomlin, an incomplete study.
Man,
as it seems like nobody wants to take that job.
They can't. They can't get the ball out of the pocket because the pocket is in their lap. Now,
this is true.
These 2 quarterbacks like to hang on to the ball as long as possible because they're good athletes and they've done it in years past, especially with Wilson. But he didn't have the same kind of juice he used to. Now, Fields does, but he still just holds on to the ball too long, man.
Time, right?
Yeah.
Now, I will say the one shot he took down the field to George Pickens, I feel like Pickens kind of almost did him wrong a little. He kind of stutter-stepped and slowed down just a little bit.
And they'll do it when they're so far down the field. They're like, hey, he's not going to throw it this far.
And he threw, and then he kind of re-engaged and went up, and it was just over his hands, and it made me wonder, you just run that one out, is it right in your lap? I don't know, but that's their problem.
That is their problem.
Another one of that group from Trevor Lawrence's quarterback class that, we mentioned Trey Lance, like he's done. And he may be, right? And nobody may ever commit to him as a starting quarterback. I'm not saying he won't start a game due to injury or anything like that, but Fields, Mac Jones is here backing up Trevor. Zach Wilson's an afterthought with the Broncos. So
it's not like the old days where they give you some time to learn the NFL system, learn how the NFL works, and then get out there after a year or two. You see the guys that actually get some time before they have to be thrust out there from day one. But it's just not like it was back in the old days.
No, Michael Penix gets that opportunity.
He's going to get that opportunity.
Right.
But he almost looks like he's ready to go.
Well, that's the thing. How long do they go? And what a weird thing. Again, Jags playing the Falcons on Friday night, and they've already said I understand not playing Kirk Cousins coming off an Achilles.
Yeah. He's
played a lot of football in the NFL, even though he hasn't played specifically in your system and all that. You see him on the practice field every day, but it is odd. And, Pro Football Talk was speculating on, is it a case where are they afraid Penix goes out there and plays really well, and then there is that cry? And what's the difference between Trevor and Kirk Cousins? Well, Kirk Cousins is like 36 years old coming off a torn Achilles.
Yeah.
They didn't draft him number 1 overall. Yeah, they paid him, but then they drafted their own investment with the number 8 pick in the draft in Penix. Whereas the Jags said, hey, we need a backup. We'll give you a 6th-round pick, and we're going to pay our guy $250 million. To me, it's, night and day.
Totally different, yeah.
So, but, is it that? Is it a case that, at least some speculation, could they possibly believe that Penix is showing them enough that they could shock the world and open the season with him as the starter? I think it's tough to go back to Cousins. You know what I mean? Like, you've got all this money. Good amount of it is guaranteed. It's easier to start with, here's the guy we invested. We can always, if we have to turn to the rookie because Kirk Cousins just doesn't have it anymore, so be it. But
yeah.
That division's wide open for them to win this year.
No, it is. And like I said, I've watched Penix in that one game, and he was throwing the ball all around. And I liked him coming out of college, so it is a different dynamic than what you normally see. But, kind of, I want to say kudos to Atlanta for at least picking their future, but man, you just gave this guy so much money.
Right.
But you know what? If you don't like what you see, or if he isn't really moving the needle for whatever reason, you have your future that you can go to ASAP.
If Kirk Cousins stays healthy, though, and plays well, people will continue to scratch their heads. Is this a good use of resources?
Yeah.
If Kirk Cousins gets hurt 3 weeks into the season and Penix leads him to a division title, everyone's going to be revisionist history and say, what a great move that was by the Atlanta Falcons. All right, Dylan, let's wrap this one up.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
All right, hello, Taylor Dahl. How are you?
Hello. I'm great. You were speaking to my heart a little bit there. I did my first ever Dynasty League draft last night, Mike.
Really?
Yeah, and I've never done a Dynasty League, a million fantasy leagues, never a Dynasty. And so last night was my first one. I was kind of put in quarterback purgatory for a while. I drafted one early and then didn't draft one soon enough. So Michael Penix.
2-quarterback league.
Yeah, 2 QB league.
Right.
And normal flex, not a super flex. So Michael Penix is one of my quarterbacks that is probably not going to be seen for a little while. So that's
maybe.
I know.
Maybe
that's
not.
What I'm saying.
Maybe not. We'll find out. I mean, either way, I would say maybe the Jags are going to rough up Kirk Cousins, but he's not going to play on Friday.
Yeah.
All right. So other than Mac Jones, who was clearly the talking point of Saturday's game, give me one player on the Jags that you were impressed with their performance.
Tank. I've been banging the table all offseason about Tank. I think he looks fantastic, and I think this game it was one of the games too where I felt like once you go back and you look at the box score and you felt like he had 120 yards, but he didn't. It was one of those games, but he was just getting the yardage when you needed it. Last year, one of the biggest problems was the short down yardage, and he just feels like he's rolling through everyone, and it's really fun to watch that.
Then again, would have been nice to convert the one real short down
the actual one
had.
you needed.
Now, granted, backup lineman, but you're playing against backup linemen. It's still a concern, a legitimate concern, but you're right.
The offensive lineman?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
If you just read the box score, you're like,
he had an all right
But
game.
if you watched it, you're like, Damn, Tank. All right, I see it. Right. So watch football. That's the answer. Right there.
Don't be the box score guy.
All right, what's coming up on Helmets and Heels?
Yeah, we have actually a fun day because we have Luke Hetrick. He's coming on from WSBT to preview this preseason game for this weekend. We also have Jacob Rudner to talk about some Gators. We're really close to the college football season kicking off. Obviously, week 0 with the Noles, but the Gators kicking off with Miami, a big game for both of them. So we're going to preview that a little bit. So a lot of football talk today. And it's fun.
All right, Taylor, have a great show.
Thank you.
We'll be listening for that. DG, what's your week look like laying out ahead of you?
It's going to be a pretty chill week for me this week. You know, last weekend I was telling you off the air, I was, rough. I was sick, not feeling great all week long. Finally started to come around once the Jags won, and Sunday I had a softball tournament that was in the heat, so that was a great way to finally get out of the house.
Took it back out of you, though.
It sure did, and I'm feeling it right now.
All right, well, guess what? You get to sit with your feet up at home in the AC and watch the Jags play Atlanta on Friday, and we'll break it down next Monday with you again.
Sounds fun.
And then we get to the real stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Sooner rather than later. All right,
Can't
for David Garrard, Tony Smith on assignment. He should be back with us tomorrow. And for Dylan Denmark, I'm Mike Dempsey. Stick around for Helmets and Heels. That does it for Jaguars Today here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars